All right, we're live.
Hello,
Sorcha,
hello.
Plex report, episode 4, I think.
Are we on episode 4 already? That's pretty cool.
Yeah, it's
Well,
been a while.
welcome everyone. For those of
Yeah.
you who are new, my name's Sorcha Porter, and I'm a real estate agent licensed in Oregon, Washington. And this is
Hey, I'm James Adair. I'm a lender at Neo Home Loans. We are licensed in 48 states,
and
but we're based in Portland, Oregon. And yeah,
we're here to talk to you about how to leverage multi-unit properties or multi-unit like properties so that you can have home ownership because mortgages be expensive right now.
that's right. We sort of started making these videos in 2023. Once rates started cresting actually at the time I'm recording this, which is early July 11th, 2023. This is like some of the highest rates I think we've ever seen, that I've ever seen. Obviously, if you were owning homes in the early and mid 80s, you've seen higher rates than this. But
Yeah,
most, I've been
probably in the
doing this
last 25
20
years.
years. Yeah, I've been doing this 20 years. I've never seen anything before this post-COVID episode. I'll never forget. I locked a 30-year fix for 6.625 in the summer of 2006, and I remember just being like, and it was for like a friend of mine. And then after a few months, I was like, oh man, I think that was the highest. That was the high. Just bad timing,
Yeah,
Um,
it's just
it stuck with me.
it is what it is, and it's like if you want to buy a home, this is actually a great time to buy because people are afraid to buy when the interest rates are high. But a
Yes,
lot of people need to make it work financially for them, and so house hacking and multi-unit ownership or multiplexes, hence Plex
right,
report, is
right.
the way to go. So we have a multi-unit a couple of multi-unit type properties to show you, and today we're focusing on one in Sellwood.
That's right. So Southeast 19th Avenue here. I'll get on the screen share.
And
Give me
while
a
James
second
does
here.
that, I'll tell
Yeah.
you
So
that
the point of this whole of our project here is we're going to try to record one episode. Every episode is dedicated to what's our favorite house that's available for sale right now that you could buy and create additional offsetting income to help
pay
pay
your
your
month
mortgage.
so
Because
that it's not as expensive.
trying to solve this affordability. I don't want to call it a crisis, but it's
I
certainly
mean,
it's
affordability problem.
an affordability problem that we've been. So this one you've grabbed on Southeast 19th, I just think is an absolute home run
Yeah.
for a
So
variety of reasons.
while you pull that up, James, I'll tell the people a little bit about this neighborhood. So this house is in Selwood Moreland, which
Yep.
is a really cool walkable neighborhood with great schools. It's really popular with young people and young families because there are so many small shops, coffee shops, restaurants, antique shops, all within walking distance, as well as multiple parks, a waterfront with a beach, and a ton of other really cool stuff all nearby.
I'm going to
Um,
pull up the map view so you
yeah,
can really see everything you're talking about. So it's in the southeast corner of Selwood. This whole grid here. If I zoom out, you can see Selwood Moreland. This is Tacoma Street. This is kind of the main sort of
main vein through
the main one
Selwood,
of the main arteries, and it turns into the Selwood Bridge, which is easy access to the west side of
which
Portland.
which is another reason it's so popular. A lot of several hospitals and major businesses are just on the other side of that bridge. So it's great for people who commute to the west side without having to pay west side property taxes, which are very high.
That's
It,
right. And then you've got this 13th Avenue commercial corridor with tons of really great
stuff.
restaurants and shops and super walkable and bikeable.
Yeah.
You've got this great park area in the Westmoreland. You've got Oaks Bottom, which is huge, in the Springwater Corridor, which is this, I don't know, 20-mile
bike
bike path
bike
that,
and walking path.
yeah,
It's really idyllic. I
yeah.
I
One of the most popular neighborhoods in all of Portland.
it is
Iconic.
actually the most popular neighborhood in Portland with the
Doesn't shock me.
median sale price of 1.2 million. Or sorry, a median list price of 1.2 million and the average sale going for over 200,000 over asking.
Huh. Wow. Okay, so let's look at this house. This is listed for $549,900,
Such a
and it's
deal.
2 bedroom, 2 bath. It's got this cute fence. Let's see here. Listed by Dill Ward,
She's a
who's
great agent.
a great agent that we admire at Living Room Real Estate. And you can see here the letter A, because this is Unit A. This is has a house, and it has this little
Little button of a studio
a
ADU.
button. Yes,
Little
indeed.
button.
So I'm just gonna cruise through these photos here. Can you follow along as I do this?
Yes. So as you can see, like they've made some color choices, but what I clock in this unit is that there is a mini split AC system.
This
It looks
guy up
like it
here.
it has original wainscoting around the lower half of the
Yeah,
room. The
that's I
seller
think.
the sellers just didn't elect it looks like they just didn't really elect to have a stager come in and stage it. It looks like they staged it with their own furniture.
Mhm.
Um,
It's
and
kind of skinny little room here, but
yeah.
maybe that gives you another. I don't know what's on the other side of this. Maybe the other side is the kitchen, or if this is in the back.
I think there might be a layout photo coming through here, but the
The
kitchen is
kitchen.
updated.
The
It's a
kitchen looks
newer
great.
Yeah, it's a newer kitchen, stainless steel countertops. I mean, this is a lot of times when you see houses at this price point in Sellwood, they're like not livable. But
That's a
this
great
house is
point.
all updated. It's totally move-in ready.
Yep.
It has a lot of storage, like
Laundry,
oh,
pantry. It's a little cute little bedroom tucked in here.
and
Bathroom.
bathroom. You know,
Yeah, you're right. This is all, and this must be
this
a
is the
basement with a little
basement.
like
Yeah,
half
that's the
window.
basement bedroom. And the basement's like 400 square feet, so it's a good size.
Okay, so you've got one of the bedrooms on the main, and you've got a
Yep.
basement bedroom with a separate entrance that maybe you could.
Act-
That would be an
Actually,
easy renter.
it's actually 2 bedrooms on the main with a 3rd room that's a non-conforming bedroom on the
Oh,
lower level. So
and then
it's
here's your first view of the button studio here, the
it's so
driveway.
cute.
Yeah. So let's see if we can get. There it is. There's unit B. So it's really the size of a bedroom, but I think this is a great short-term rental potential. I
Yeah.
don't think there's any pictures of
There are no photos of
inside.
the inside, and I actually think that's a big factor as to why this isn't selling. I think that people who wanna buy houses with rentable space really like to see it before they go tour it, and this house doesn't have photos of the interior because it's currently rented by a tenant.
So does this sorry to interrupt. Does this is this the back of the main house and it goes into a
Yeah.
backyard? Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
it's the French doors, little covered porch. It's cute, like,
Yeah.
design-wise, inside, I think that a lot of people have a hard time seeing past other people's belongings, but
Spacious backyard.
if you can strip that away mentally and look at the house itself, it is actually a cute little starter home. Oh, there's the, layout
It,
pictures, so
all
you
right,
can
so you
go
walk in. Okay.
can you
Living
blow it up a
room.
little, James? Because I don't know if the viewers at home can see it at this size.
This is the funny thing where when I increase it, it actually gets smaller. So let me see if I can. I don't know. This is as good as it gets. Anyway,
Alright.
we'll put a link. We'll put a link in the show
We'll put
notes
it
here, and you
yeah.
can click on this.
But if you
Um,
can see from the photos, you enter at the front with the living room, and then it's bedroom, kitchen,
kitchen.
dining, bathroom, and second bedroom at the back with
Uh
French
huh.
doors exiting to the covered back porch.
Got it.
And then to the left is the basement, which is 450 square feet, which is huge. And then to the right is the 216 square foot ADU.
Yes. Gotcha.
And
All
that
right.
is the exciting, I think the ADU is the most exciting part of this because I did some research before we jumped on this call, and
Yeah.
and I discovered
Yeah.
that ADU estimated revenue on Airbnb is around $43,200 a year.
I still can't believe that. So what does that translate to? That's based on a per night.
Yeah, so per night, let's see, that is about $150 a night, I think.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, for that neighborhood, I think yes. Right. You get
Well,
access to so much of Portland that people want. Um, and
yeah.
then how did you assess that? Does Airbnb, like if you go to Airbnb and put in an address, does it tell you what it might rent for?
Yeah, so I use AirDNA, which is a platform that aggregates data from Airbnb and VRBO and then gets an estimate based on other rented units in the area. So it's estimating $159 a night.
Okay. Let me just get the calculator out. So 159 times 365 days a year that's $58,000. Is that right?
So, but that is estimating a 75% occupancy rate.
Okay, perfect. 159 times 365 and then times 75% of that. $43,526 a year, right?
Yep.
Divided by 12. $3,627 a month.
Crazy.
And
Isn't that
now
crazy?
I'm going to do the share screen with the numbers here. So the presentation, boom. I went ahead and mapped out all the numbers for this purchase price of $549.9. And this is a great first time buyer house. We're thinking that this whole concept of using rental income to offset your mortgage is great for first time buyers. It's really great for any buyer, really.
It
Maybe you're
is.
moving from the Midwest and you're selling a house, but you still don't have it. You might as well be a first time buyer out in our market,
Yeah. If you're
Um,
coming from a less expensive market to here, if you are a first-time buyer, if you're downsizing and looking for a way to offset your mortgage well, before you can refinance when interest rates come down, this is a great way to do it. And
exactly.
I was stunned when I saw how much AirDNA estimated, because one of the things about AirDNA that a lot of people don't know is that it usually underestimates. So
Hmm.
that 159 a night is like on the low end of things.
I think it's good to plan conservatively for these kinds
Yeah.
of things, even with this potentially conservative number. To me, that sounds appropriate for the size of this unit, et cetera. But here, look at the numbers for if you're a first time buyer and you want a minimum down payment, 549.9. You can put 3% down plus the fees, the closing costs, et cetera, prepaid taxes, your whole all in number is 33,786. That's my estimate based on
That's less than
today.
a car.
I know, right? So if you can scrape together 33.7, you could write an offer on this house for 549.9. Now the payment would be $4,378.99. Let's go ahead and round that up to 4,379, 4380, let's say.
Okay.
And you're conservatively going to be getting 3,600 of income from that studio. So let's do the math here real quick. 3,600 or 4,380. So the difference is $752 a month.
That's bananas.
That's amazing. You could live in this whole house for potentially $752 a month. And the tax deduction, the interest you pay on your primary residence is tax deductible if you itemize your taxes. And I think with a loan of this size, you probably the itemized amount of interest you're going to carry in a 12-month calendar year will probably exceed your standard deduction. And if that's true, the tax benefit is an additional $1,200 a month.
For you viewers listening at home, that translates to you're actually making like
Right.
$500 a
So
month.
you get $1,200 a month to pay $752 of mortgage overage. Now, we're not talking about any of the other expenses,
Yeah.
maintenance, et cetera, et cetera. So, but
Utilities,
still, I
those
think
things aren't accounted for. And when you have a short-term rental, you do pay utilities. You have to factor in that 159 includes cleaning.
Mhm,
So, a cleaning fee unless you do it yourself.
mhm, mhm.
So those are all things to consider in those prices, but still, that's pretty hefty numbers.
So amazing. So $33,000 out of pocket, you could potentially use that little button of an ADU to pay your freight and start building equity. And then if rates go down, you can refinance and chop $300, $400, $500 off that payment potentially. and then move up to another property 2,
Yeah.
3, 4 years from now, right? So this is just such a great property, a great entry into owning real estate. And if you
And
wanted to put 10% down, your payment goes down to just above 4,000. Again, this includes mortgage insurance, includes taxes and everything. I'll put a link to this report in the show notes as well. And then with 20% down, it's like, forget about it. The ADU is just paying your mortgage, and um, you're getting additional tax benefit. You're literally making money like right out of the gate.
it's so
Um,
cool.
so cool.
And you don't have to short-term rent it. Like maybe you're like, I don't know if I want a short-term rent. You could long-term rent it for like 1,100 to 1,300 bucks a month, depending. That's about how much a studio apartment goes for in Portland. Now, part of the reason I think this has been sitting is because there are no photos of the interior of the unit. No. So we don't know how nice it is inside. And the level of finish affects how much you can get monthly for a long-term rental. But it doesn't as much
And
for
I
short.
think the main house, looking at the main house, I think the main house really functions as a one-bedroom house as well. I think that might be in the I think that
It
the
looks like
basement
the
could be
sellers.
an extra bedroom, but I think it's marketed as a two-bedroom house with the one bedroom being in the main and the one bedroom being in the ADU. I think that's how I'm seeing it. Do you see it differently?
I believe I saw it. Let me look at it here because I have it in front of me. Where did you go? Um, I actually think there are two bedrooms on the main floor in the main house because that detached studio isn't considered a bedroom, not from a
Well, it
yeah.
has a bedroom and an office, the den office.
Yeah, so I think that they're considering the main house, that den office is being counted as a bedroom.
Okay,
And then
fair
the
enough.
basement is also a room that is finished and usable space, but it's not a legal bedroom because it doesn't have a built-in closet. So technically, it has 3 rooms that can be used as bedrooms. I think spatially, you would likely use 2 of the rooms as bedrooms, and one, and then the ADU could be used as a bedroom. But it's such a I like think this house is such a steal for the area. It
I
is
absolutely. Yeah,
so rare to find something at this price point in Selwood that is livable.
I know. You're right. I think it's a killer deal. It's
Killer
got our
deal.
killer deal stamp of approval. I think, and also let's talk about how much money do you need to make to buy something like this. Of
Yeah,
course, it depends on how much debt you have, and it depends on how much you put down, how much you're borrowing. But I think I kind of
that's for
roughed
fun.
out. If you had about $500 a month of other debts, like a car payment and credit cards and stuff like that, you probably would need about $10,000 a month to qualify for that the mortgage on that minimum down payment, the $4,300 a month version of that. I'm gonna share the numbers again so we can talk about it. So about $10,000 a month. Of that, you can include 75% of potential long-term rent on the ADU. That's a new rule as of about six. I think it's just been this year or part of last year. Fannie Mae, who buys all these mortgage contracts, has now you're allowed to use long-term rental income from an ADU, and it doesn't have to be a duplex.
Which means you can count like $750 a month.
Right. Of
That's
the
great.
$10,000, yeah, like about 800, 750, 800 can come from
The
the
ADU
property
rental,
itself. So you
which
would
is
need to make what, 9,000, let's say 9,300 a month gross, not net. Um, that's times 12, 111,600 divided by 2. So a couple making about $56,000 a year
each.
each, and has access to 33,700 could jump in and grab something like this. So
Yep.
hopefully that's not too far out of range for listeners.
Yeah, I hope so too. And I also just like want to drive home the point that this is like a premium location and neighborhood. Like
Very much.
this isn't you living in the sticks. This isn't you living in Felony Flats. This is
No,
like,
living the dream.
yeah, this is fancy schmancyville.
Yeah.
So you get into fancy schmancyville basically for free when other people around you are paying 1.2 mil. Like that's a great place to be. And this house with a little bit more updating and some landscaping would really shine. And I think the equity gain here is really where you will make the most money on top of your rent from the ADU.
I love it.
I love
Well, I think this is a great story. I hope people take advantage of this. I hope whoever's watching this can click on the link and see that this house is still for sale, and then they call us and we can help you
it. Yeah. I
get
would love
leveled
to
up.
sell in this house. This would be such a great house for literally anyone that I know. I always find these houses and I'm like, oh, I need to find someone to buy this. This is one I would love to see someone buy.
Awesome. Well, let's do it,
All
people.
right, well, thank you so much for listening. If you want to work with James, James, where can they find you?
pdxhomeloan.com is probably the easiest way to reach out and grab me. Reach out and touch me.
And find me at Sorcha Homes PDX on Instagram. That's SORCHAHOMES
Yeah, you put it on your little
Yeah, I thought it would be
icon
easy for
there.
people
Smart.
to see.
Smart.
Um, or you can reach me at 971-444-9155, and I am licensed in Oregon and Washington.
Let's buy some homes, people. Let's take
Yes,
advantage of what this market's giving us. All right.
right.
Until next time, thanks again, Sorcha.
Thanks for listening.
Look forward to the next episode.
Subscribe, and share.
That's right. Of course, I need to say that. All right.
All right. Bye, everybody.
Bye.